hold on. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so we've got the crown chakra. So we've started with the grounding chakra, which is Muladhara, and now we're ending with the crown chakra, which kind of sits right above the head, the top of the crown. It is symbolized by the lotus flower. And the lotus flower, if you're familiar with the way the lotus flower grows, it grows from mucky, muddy kind of water. And it plants its seed in this like mucky water, and then it grows and it creates a long stem from this mucky water, and it comes to the surface and it opens up into a beautiful flower. And the symbolism of the lotus flower is like coming from darkness to lightness. So we look at the crown chakra as the chakra of that lotus flower. It's often used with the symbolism of the Lotus Mudra, which we are going to use today in our practice. And the Lotus Mudra is where we take our heel of our hands together, bring our pinkies together, and bring our thumbs together, and then spread our fingers out really nice and wide, like we're opening up this beam of light towards the sun. And it symbolizes that opening from darkness to light. We are going to do a couple of mudras today. Mudras are hand gestures that create the sense of connection physically, maybe a one-pointedness focus. You can use the mudras to help kind of create a bit of that focus when you're in meditation. And I'm going to show you two mudras today. One will be chin, as well as the Lotus Mudra. So we will do both this morning. Now, as I said, the chakra, the seventh chakra is located at the top of the head, and it is that sense of giving us, bringing us to a state of higher consciousness. And it is that ability to be able to open up to beyond what is our preoccupations and our visions. So it is that space that's beyond within the universe, and that more connection to our consciousness. It helps us get in touch with the universal, with this general universal connection to divinity, not necessarily in a sense of a religious divinity. It can be, absolutely can be. It could be this connection to a higher power, to something that we relate to within the universe. The crown chakra is primarily located or associated with the pituitary gland, and secondary to the pineal and the hypothalamus. Yeah, let me say that 10 times. They work together to regulate the endocrine system. And because of its location, the crown chakra works closely with the brain and the whole of the nervous system. So we've got our parasympathetic nervous system, our sympathetic nervous system. We have different nervous systems that relate to different parts of our body. Parasympathetic and sympathetic is more related to that rest and digest and fight or flight. So it definitely connects in with our nervous system based on its location. It is also important to notice that it does relate back to the first chakra, because both chakras are at the end of each of their locations. So you've got the crown chakra at the top, and Muladhara, which is connected down to the earth. They work together, and they're very energetically connected. So we really try to think about working from the ground up, and so it energetically they're very connected to be able to create this really sense of balance through our chakra system. Now we've spoken about earlier, it really, the chakra system is important to, it's kind of allowing us to come together with this, creating this sense of awareness of our bodies, And when we've worked through every single one of them over the last 7 weeks, and we've talked about the chakra system individually. And now we're looking at it as a whole because we've kind of gone from the ground up. And each of our chakras, when they spin, when they work in unison, is when we really are able to invite the sense of balance in our life, the sense of self-awareness, the sense of consciousness, also the sense of self-awakening. And it is a process. It is certainly a process to work through different things and become aware. And really, when we get to the crown chakra, we're at this space where we seek bliss. And bliss can be for somebody once told me in our course that bliss can be a moment in time for seconds where you're completely imbalanced, you're completely connected within oneself, and then it can disappear. So it is something that we seek, but it's not something that necessarily can stay with us. You know, it's perhaps a moment in time. Perhaps you have longer states of bliss. Of course, we've read about people who sit in meditation and they've experienced this exaltation of bliss, which is a beautiful thing to strive for. But for a lot of us, that may not be attainable. So as we move through this journey, you may have moments of connectedness, you may have moments of complete balance as you balance through your chakras, and you may experience this moment in time of pure bliss, of pure balance. The crown chakra is associated psychologically and behavioral with the following characteristics: consciousness, which we've talked about, awareness of higher consciousness, this sense of wisdom and acknowledging what is sacred. And again, it could be a religious symbol, a religious figure. It could be something that you've practiced, something that isn't maybe associated with any sort of religion. It could be, I know in my case, my father passed away when I was 8. I've always looked at him as my higher power, as someone who is guiding me through this journey of life and has always got his eyes on me. And now my mom's up there too, so they're double full together. So, and that's how I didn't grow up with a religious background. My parents had grown up, but I didn't. And so that is where I sought a lot of refuge in my life. Connection to the formless, to the limitless. That is also something that we seek in our journey through the chakras, is making this connection that there are no limitations, that the limitations are simply not there. There's boundless amounts of abundance in the universe. Realization, liberation from limiting patterns. Talked a little bit throughout our journey about thoughts, limiting thoughts that we have about ourselves, and seeking our chakra in the crown chakra. We release those limiting patterns. We release those limiting thoughts about ourselves, about others, about the world, and we seek this idea that everything is available. There is this endless amount of abundance, and there are no limitations. We talked about communion, not communion, but this connection to a higher states of consciousness, to ecstasy, to bliss, and finally to being present in the moment. That is definitely one of the things that we are constantly seeking. And we do this in yoga through our asana practice, through our movements, to bring us into this present moment. And the physical practice of yoga is only a small component of the larger kind of I don't want to say program, but the larger reason that yoga, not reason, but the practice of yoga, asana is only one part of it. And asana really helps us connect to that present moment when we are in those movements. We obviously, in some cases, it brings us right into that present moment because we have no choice but to be there. So the asana practice is a great way to be able to really invite that sense of presence into our lives. And you can do this through other means as well. It doesn't have to be yoga, but maybe walking, bringing that awareness as you're walking, noticing each step. As you're walking and breathing, noticing your breath, noticing, each of these things that are happening and drawing that awareness in our daily activities. The crown chakra is associated with this transcendence of our limitations, whether they are personal or bound to space and time. The crown chakra, like we said, we talked about, it's getting rid of those limitations and just opening this opportunity of abundance. Symptoms of a crown chakra blockage. An imbalance in the crown chakra can lead to spiritual distress. And some symptoms of a blockage in the seventh chakra can include isolation and loneliness, the inability to connect with others. Certainly, with the pandemic looming still, now in its ninth month, ninth month, I know for myself personally, I've really had to try to work really hard at my seventh chakra because I know for myself, I got into this rhythm of really not interacting with people outside of my very fortunate live and fitness community. I don't really interact with a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of us aren't because we're kind of isolated at home. And so I know during these times, this has been a chakra that I've really had to work on and really get myself out there to communicate with other people, whether it's by phone, whether it's by email, just to create that connection. When this chakra is blocked, there may be this lack of direction. You're not really sure where to go. You're not clear in your path. You may find yourself going from one direction then to the other, and you're not really sure the direction you truly want to go into. The inability to set or maintain goals. We may find ourselves setting goals and then not honoring our goals, and then setting more goals and then not honoring them. And so we may find ourselves in this kind of wheelhouse of kind of every day setting goals but then not attaining them, and that really can just possibly give us an indication of, okay, well, what is it that I really need? What am I truly trying to attain? And then trying to stick with that goal. I am a poster child of this. I found once I left Canada and we moved overseas, I really associated my identity with my work. And at the time, I was head of human resources for a trucking company. And everything I did up until that point, I associated with my job. And when I left that job and I became a mother and I became a partner to someone who was now the primary breadwinner, which was really difficult for me because I was always so independent. And then I became this person, and I had no identity. I had no, in French they say raison d'être, this reason for being. And it was a really tough time in my life to be able to kind of really look at myself and see what are my goals. Because my husband kept saying, there's no limitations. And for me, it was like, well, all I saw were limitations. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll do this, and maybe I'll do that, or maybe I'll do this. I mean, I think I changed jobs in one day in my head about 7 times. Massage therapist, human resources, forensic scientist. I mean, I went through everything, and it was a struggle for years to find my niche, a struggle. And it took a long time to be able to be true to myself and to really say, what gives me this sense of joy and this sense of purpose, and what goals do I want to take on to make myself go into that space. And some of us here are in this other transition in life right now where our careers are maybe stopped. And now we're reintroducing this whole new life. We have to reinvent ourselves in some ways. We have to create new goals and new visions for the future. And that is a process that can take time. Feeling disconnected spiritually, maybe having this disconnect with maybe it again. It doesn't have to be religious. Just this connection spiritually with the universe. Not having this ability to see that there's more to what is just here. There's this greater power that surrounds us. And when we have a blockage in this place, we might not be able to identify that really, as a very famous writer wrote, the universe has your back. We feel this disconnect. We don't realize, really, in the greater scheme of things, we're going to be okay. Things are directing us in the way it needs to go, and everything happens for a reason. Physical blockages of the seventh chakra might be neurological disorders, nerve pain, thyroid, pineal gland disorders, Alzheimer's, reoccurring headaches or migraines, delusional disorders, possibly like schizophrenia, insomnia, and depression. Healing the crown chakra. So a lot of the crown chakra is really, well, not a lot of it, part of the healing process in the crown chakra is, of course, using methods like yoga. Being able to connect, not necessarily in yoga as asana, that is one portion or practice in yoga to help heal the chakra, but also through meditation. And if you don't have a regular meditation practice, one of the things I hope to leave you with today is maybe this curiosity of how a regular meditation practice could change your life. And it could be a simple meditation practice of 3 minutes. It could be 2 minutes. It could be 1 minute. It could be 20 minutes. It need not be a whole a complicated process. It can simply be sitting quietly and trying to find that one pointed focus. I could speak for myself. My meditation practice has physically changed my life and emotionally changed my life. And I'll be honest, I only truly started a regular meditation practice about a year ago, if that, where I actually committed to doing a meditation practice in some form or another every day. Things like reactivity to things, physical reactivity if something happens where I would literally have physical reflux or reaction. My meditation practice has helped me cope with certain reactivity issues. Concentration. My meditation has helped me concentrate and be able to really process information clearly in my mind, because my mind is quieter and I'm more in the present moment. And I can go on and on. It has really changed my sleeping patterns. It has made me a calmer person. And a lot of you know me from days where I was teaching at different locations, and that person that years ago, was very often anxious before I would attend things, teach things. It was really out of my physical sphere. Mentally and emotionally, it took a lot for me to present myself in classes, and now I've found myself just accepting what I can offer and giving what I can each time to the best of my abilities, whereas before it would be a real stress for me to make sure everything went a certain way, and really nag myself down when things didn't. And that is still a process for me. I still struggle with that, but I'm getting better at it. And I hope for yourself too that if you do a regular meditation practice, that you start to maybe notice these subtle changes that may happen. Other opportunities to help heal chakras. Some of you may be into stones. I know that amethyst is a nice stone that you can use. Quartz is a nice stone. Diamonds are great as well. Not all accessible for all of us, but they're great to help heal chakras. And if you are involved in that metaphysical relationship with stones, I definitely encourage you to do some research on that. I know that malas, maybe amethyst malas, that would help with your meditation practice. There's a lot of properties in the stones that really help to heal different things, and that would be something I would encourage you to look into a little further if you're interested in that. Spending time in your yoga practice, in your asana practice, in certain poses. There are some poses that are going to unblock that chakra more than others. Luckily, Shavasana is one of them. And I can't encourage you enough that when you're doing your yoga practice, when I say at the end of class, if you want to stay here a little longer in Shavasana, to really tune in if you need to stay there a little longer, rest your body, rest your mind. It is a practice with Zoom, it tends to be a little shorter than I would normally do in a regular class, but Shavasana is a really powerful and difficult pose to do because it's that time where we're intending to let go of everything, to be present in the moment, and to be and not to do. And I know for me, sometimes it's, oh, great, now I have an opportunity to think about what I'm going to do today, or I'm going to do my check-off list of things that I have set up for the day. But truly, when we come into Shavasana, it's this opportunity to completely be in the present moment. And so it's a practice. It's a practice that we have to harvest every single time we come to our yoga mat to practice our physical practice. The crown chakra is our connection with divinity, which I spoke about earlier. It is the portal through which the life energy enters in our body. Without this energy, human beings cannot function properly and tend to feel disconnected with others. By balancing and strengthening the seventh chakra, we can connect with the higher power to receive its love, which can then be shared with those around us. So that's kind of my summary of what this chakra is. When we connect to this chakra, we are able to give out the love to others. We are able to share this space of the universe with others. We are able to connect to this universal power, this universal energy around us, but also within our own energy systems. We are done with this portion of class. Today we're going to go through some poses, and we are going to end with a lotus meditation, 1,000-petaled meditation at the end of our class. But right now, I'd like you all, if you're not already there, to come to a seated position. And we're just going to begin with a gentle pranayama practice. And we're just going to connect in while using our chin or Jhana Mudra. So the chin mudra is a mudra where we connect our, I'll just give everybody a second in a moment just to get settled. All right. So our chin or Jhana Mudra, and there's two different locations where you can place your chin or Jhana Mudra. And like I said earlier, a mudra is a physical connection. We kind of create these pointedness, attention to while using our hands. And if you think about everything you do with your hands, we do a lot. We hug, we caress, we move, we do dishes, we write. Everything comes with the sensory of the hands a lot in our days. So just bringing our awareness, maybe opening up your palms and bringing your index finger and your thumb together and opening up the last three fingers. The index finger represents the ego, and the thumb represents consciousness, God, divinity. And this union helps break patterns and focuses the mind. So there is Chin Mudra. We typically open up to be able to open up to give and receive energy. So our palms are facing up towards the sky. And in Jhana Mudra, our palms are facing down. And that's maybe just to connect, maybe to harvest the energy within. The benefits of Chin or Jhana is to sharpen the intellect. It reduces daydreaming. It lifts depression, centering and grounding. Feelings of lightness, calms the mind, and brightens the spirit. It also helps to open the chest for diaphragmatic breathing and assists in the flow of prana inward. So this beautiful, simple mudra, when practicing, maybe just in your day, you may even find yourself doing this to kind of center your attention, but also you can use in your meditation practice or your pranayama practice, which is our breath practice. So let's go ahead and find whatever mudra works for you. And if none work for you, simply rest your hands. It's no problem. And let's go ahead and lengthen our spine. And we're just going to begin with a few really big, deep breaths. And I want you to draw your awareness to the top of your crown as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And as you take each inhale in through the nose and out through the nose, allow your body to relax. Allow your attention maybe to center on that connection between your index finger and your thumb. And the color of our crown chakra is violet. So maybe you may invite the color violet into your vision. Maybe you might even see something violet in front of you if your eyes are open. And as you sit here, I'd like you to think of the lotus flower. Maybe it's a violet lotus flower. And I want you to imagine that lotus flower stem coming up from the mucky waters of a pond. Maybe noticing how the seeds connect into the earth, creating this beautiful flower from this dark, murky space beneath the earth. And as those seeds begin to plant themselves, we begin to see this wondrous, beautiful stem coming from this dark space, moving ever so slowly from this dark space into lighter spaces and lighter spaces. And maybe as you sit here, noticing from the tailbone, working its way up your spine, maybe imagining your spine being that stem that's growing up from darkness slowly into lightness. And then as you lengthen your spine, you begin to maybe invite one petal and then another at the top and the crown of the head. And you start to grow your lotus flower. You start to open up to all this possibility. we start to see the endless abundance of the earth, of the universe, of the power around us. And as your lotus flower continues to expand, adding petals, growing bigger and even more beautiful, imagine this journey that this lotus flower came from, a simple seed into a beautiful flower. Through mucky waters, to the beautiful surface of the water, radiating down with the sun above it, offering growth, offering opportunity, offering endless, limitless possibilities. Now I'd like you to repeat this mantra. I am open to the endless amount of abundance and greatness the universe has to offer. I am open to the endless abundance and greatness the universe has to offer. I am open to the endless abundance and greatness that the universe has to offer. Let us slowly deepen our breath and release our breath slowly from the nose or from the mouth. And then begin to open your eyes, slowly re-inviting our space. And then let us take our hands to heart center. And maybe this intention may be surrounded by the full 7 weeks. Maybe there's something you need for your time on the mat today or beyond. Maybe it's an intention just for this specific moment. But take a moment to set it. Maybe there's one that resonated with you. And then as you're ready, draw your hands, open them up, breathing into a 3-part breath. Breathing in from the nose, into the chest, into the ribs, into the belly. Press the palms together and let us exhale with a full breath out of the mouth. Breathing in, filling the torso, filling the belly, filling the lungs, filling the heart, and then exhale, releasing the breath out. And one last one. And let us release our hands, open our eyes, and we're going to take ourselves down onto our tummies into Crocodile Pose. Lying down on our tummy with our forehead resting on the top of our hands. Elbows outstretched to the side, hands resting flat on the floor with one hand resting on top of the other. And allowing our forehead to rest down and drawing this one-pointed focus to the crown of the head, reaching and beaming energy out from the top of the crown. Allow your tops of your feet to rest down onto the floor. Allow your shoulders to remain soft. And as you take a moment here just to rest your attention, if you find your mind starts to wander, draw your attention back to your breath. Maybe focusing on that crown chakra of the lotus, the 1,000-petaled lotus, symbolizing that crown. And take a moment here to breathe in a few deep breaths in through the nose, down the back body. And then maybe as you exhale, you can imagine yourself releasing out of the crown. Maybe you visualize this ray of light coming from the crown, leaving the body. And then as you're ready, let us take a deep breath in, filling the body from crown to toe, representing all the chakras. And exhale out, let your body rest down towards the floor, reconnecting into that grounding chakra. And then as you're ready, we're going to press ourselves up, coming into Chakravakasana. So Chakravakasana. I'll say that 10 times and I'll still slur. Rudy Goose Pose. So as we come into this pose, we're going to come into, it's kind of like a different version of cat-cow. Hands are going to rest down on the floor, knees are going to rest underneath the hips, and we're going to curl our toes directly underneath. So the heels are lifted and the backs of the feet are lengthened. As we lengthen our spine, we're going to lengthen through the crown of the head. But we're also going to notice the sense of energy emanating from the tailbone and lengthening its way from tailbone all the way to the tip of the crown. And as we come into cow pose, let us begin to arch the low back, beginning with that Muladhara chakra, moving your way all the way through all of the chakras through the spine, and then lifting up and opening up the chest, and then letting the crown open. And then as you exhale, pull the belly in, round the spine. Holding this rounded shape, let us press back onto our heels, bowing down with the crown of the head towards the earth. And then inhale, coming back into all fours, arch the low back, coming into cow, letting the crown of the head open up. As you exhale, pull the belly in, round the spine, draw the crown of the head down towards the earth. Pressing the heels, the hips into the heels. And then inhale, coming back into all fours, coming back into our cow pose. Exhale, pull the belly in, round the spine, hold the space, and then drop all the way down onto your heels. And let's repeat that 2 more times. And perhaps as you do so, we're repeating our mantra. I am connected. I am open, to the endless abundance and greatness of the universe that the universe has to offer. I am open to the endless abundance and greatness that the universe has to offer. And let's do one last one. And then from here, we'll slowly come back into all fours. We'll press the tops of our feet down on the floor and sit back on our heels. And we're going to come into a modified camel. We're not going to go into, if camel is within your practice, that would be great. However, we haven't done enough to warm up the back spine. So we're just going to really gently go into a gentle back bend here. Really subtle, really small. So rest your hands at the hips. And we're going to just connect in through the heels all the way to the crown of the head, thinking about creating this lovely length. And as we draw our shoulder blades back, maybe kind of walking them back one breath at a time, lifting up with the heart chakra, drawing the shoulder blades down. And I'm going into a really gentle back bend here, nothing too tough. You can always do this kneeling if that feels better. And again, we're thinking about that coming in from darkness to lightness. So drawing up from the earth all the way up, maybe even envisioning that length, that stem from the lotus flower, working its way from the tailbone all the way to the top of the crown. And then as you're ready, draw yourself back in through center. If you're not kneeling in that kneeling position, go ahead and bring yourself here. We're going to bring our left foot forward, or we're going to find Anjaneyasana, our low lunge. And as we bring our left foot forward, if you have any knee issues, go ahead and put something padding underneath your right leg. We want to create this opening through the right hip. So we're really grounding in through the earth, through the feet, through the knee. And we're working our way up, creating this nice long length. So however you get into this pose, maybe you're supporting yourself here. If this doesn't feel good, you can always curl your back leg and lift it up off the ground if that feels better for your knee. It's entirely up to you. Now from here, let's grab our hands. We're going to reach up overhead and interlace our fingers and place our hands right at the back of the head here. And lifting up, focusing on that crown space, lifting up, releasing. Opening up the heart, grounding in from the earth. And then slowly releasing the hands forward, meeting at heart center in our Padma in our Lotus Pose, in Padma Mudra. And that's with the hands together, the heel of the hands, pinkies together, thumbs together, fingers reaching out as if you're holding a goblet here. And drawing that space to around your chin. Opening up to possibility. You can even raise your hands above your head if that feels comfortable. And I can't help but automatically have this sense of ray of light reaching through my hands here. I don't know why, but I really can almost feel this energy kind of emanating down upwards. And then as you're ready, bring your hands back to heart center. If your hands are resting above your head, release your hands. Bring both hands on either side of your left foot and guide your left foot back and press back onto your heels. Drawing the crown of the head down towards the earth, focusing on that crown. And then as you're ready, pressing back up into all fours, lifting up into your kneeling position and taking that right foot forward. Driving that right foot so that the ankle and the knee are aligned. So first finding that physical connection, that presence of our body. Where is it sitting? Where are we landing the body? As we open up here, allowing the hip to open up. Maybe we're guiding the hands up and over, interlacing the fingers, opening up the chest, resting the head into the hands, and the hands into the head. Bringing awareness to our consciousness, to our mind, to our crown. And then as you're ready, maybe bringing the hands and releasing them and bringing them into our Padma Mudra. Bringing the palms together, fingertips together, widening the hands, thinking of this opening of opportunity, like a flower from darkness to lightness. Maybe we'll bring it overhead. And then as you're ready, release both hands, rest them on either side of your right foot. We're going to go ahead and curl our right toe under, our left toe under, and bring our right foot back, meeting in our downward facing dog. Bringing the feet about as wide as the mat, dropping down into the heels. Pedaling the feet one at a time, just to give the back of the body a nice little stretch here. Pressing the hands into the floor, coming back to that sense of grounding. And then from here, let us come back into downward facing dog and bring our feet in closer to center. Resting our weight a little bit into that left foot as we guide the right leg up into our three-legged dog. Bending into that right leg, coming all the way forward. And getting ready to go into Warrior One, adjusting that back foot, swimming the arms back, and coming into Warrior One. Now, come here however you want to. Maybe as you come up into our Warrior One, you're perhaps bringing your hands back into Padma Mudra, into Lotus Pose, Lotus Mudra. Finding that one-pointed focus, finding this sense of presence in this very moment. Inviting nothing but where you are right now into your consciousness. And then from here, releasing your hands, coming into Warrior Two and adjusting that back foot, finding that laser focus ahead. Dropping the right elbow to the right knee, extending the left arm up overhead, symbolizing this energy reaching from the crown. This journey, this sense of awareness, consciousness. As you're ready, guide that left arm down. Frame the front foot, bring the right foot back, find downward dog. As you're ready, put a little bit of pressure into that right foot as you swim the left leg up towards the sky. Bending into that left foot as you bring that left foot all the way forward. Adjusting the back foot to Warrior One, bring your hands up, maybe bringing the palms together, finding Padma Mudra, maybe palms together in Anjali Mudra, symbolizing this connectedness to oneness, to the divine, again to this universality, this connected to one. Opening up the palms, finding Warrior Two, gazing forward, opening up, connecting in through the feet. Swimming the left arm down towards the left knee, extending the right arm up overhead, symbolizing this reach from darkness to lightness. Symbolizing this energy emanating from the crown. Drawing the right hand down towards the floor, curling the back toes under, and coming back into downward facing dog. then as you're ready, drawing the knees down towards the earth. Keeping the toes curled under, pressing back onto your heels as we prepare to go into rabbit pose. Rabbit pose may be available for some and may not be for others. If you have a block, it would be great to have it so that you can raise the floor to meet your body. If it doesn't feel good, go into child's pose. We're really focusing on this crown or the forehead area, so please, whatever works best for you. So drawing the knees together, the backs of the feet are together and the toes are curled under. I'm going to draw some awareness to the crown of my head, kind of coming down, and I'm tilting in through my chin towards the earth, towards my chest, and bringing the crown of my head down to the floor. So if you have any neck issues, this may not be the right one for you. So please choose child's pose or downward dog. Now from here, I'm going to stay in this nice little kind of cozy little crouch position. I'm going to reach for my heels. And I'm going to press gently into my rib cage as I create this rounding of my spine. Connecting in with both chakras here. We've got the Muladhara chakra grounding, and we've got our crown chakra. Almost as if they're connecting and becoming this unit of one. And then as you're ready, slowly press your hands to the floor. Slowly unconnect your head from the earth, and then bring yourself onto your sits bones and swim your legs all the way forward. We are going to come directly into Shavasana here, and from Shavasana I'm going to walk you through the 1,000-letter Lotus meditation. So go ahead and find your Shavasana position that you want to be in today. It could be with your legs bent. It could be with your body completely extended long onto the floor. It could be with you resting your head on a pillow. So make yourself as comfortable as possible. Whatever you need to do to bring in this ability to concentrate and kind of avoid any distraction as we move through our 1,000-petaled lotus meditation. Now, as you're ready, if it feels comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. And begin to concentrate on the inhale entering the body from the base of the spine, expanding your awareness of your pelvis. And then exhale and release any tension that may be held in the perineum, in the hip flexors, or your glutes. Now go ahead and inhale from the base of your spine up into the belly. And then as you exhale, release any tension from the belly and the low back, allowing the body to seep down into the earth. As you take your next inhale, draw your inhale from the base of your spine to your heart. And then exhale and release any tension from around your chest, shoulders, and your upper back. As you take your next inhale, inhale from the base of your spine up to your throat. And then exhale any tension from your neck, jaw, and even your tongue. Now, inhale from the base of your spine up into the head, behind the eyebrows. Exhale and release any tension from your forehead to your scalp. Now, inhale from the base of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head and beyond. And then exhale all the way down to the base of your spine. As you continue to breathe the entire length of the spine, visualize a luminous lotus suspended above you. You may sense its petals continuously opening above the crown of your head. Or moving with the breeze of your breath coming in and out. Concentrate on the lotus as the merging of your inhale and exhale come together. Inhale as if the lotus were drawing life force from the earth beneath you. Exhale any scent or color or texture that may make its presence known to you. Allow your breath to be soft and rhythmic. By letting go of effort, you become receptive to the creative and subtle energies of the merging Shiva and Shakti deities, this masculine and feminine. Allow yourself to experience yourself as this container of this merging energy. This energy of one. This energy of oneness with the universe. This energy of endless, limitless possibility. Now, let us take the next minute to simply be in this space. you're ready. You may choose to stay where you are a little longer, or go ahead and begin to deepen your breath and gently move your body through the fingers and your toes. And then perhaps as you're ready, take a moment to roll onto your favorite side and simply observe how you feel. Observe your breath. And then at your own perfect pace, let us press ourselves up into an easy seated position, should you choose. And then let us meet with our Padma Mudra, or maybe our Chin Mudra, open or closed. And let us recite our mantra. I am open to the endless abundance and greatness the universe has to offer. I am open to the endless abundance and greatness the universe has to offer. I am open to the endless abundance and greatness the universe has to offer. Let us release our hands and take a deep, full inhale. Extending the arms up overhead and pressing the palms together and resting them back down at heart center. As we rest our hands in Anjali Mudra, symbolizing the connectedness and the unity of one with consciousness and divinity. May I end this by saying, may your heart always stay warm, and may your smile always stay broad, and may the light that shines in me always honor the light that shines in you. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much to all of you who have spent this whole 7-week journey with me. Thank you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everything that you have, your energy in coming to this 7-week program. And I look forward to many more sessions going forward in the future. I wish you nothing but the most glorious day from my heart to yours. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everyone. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Namaste, everyone. You're welcome, Susan. Thank you. Bye, guys.